Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to the Black Side of Liberty with your man, Governor Wildstar. That is me, Governor Wildstar. Hey, what's up, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this wonderful episode that I will be having with me, guest who is a candidate running for Illinois State House Representative out in Chicago, Illinois. So we're going to be introducing him shortly. But first, a few announcements. First, of course, and foremost, please be sure to share this video. I'm doing my best to expand my audience, get as many people informed as possible, and grow this network that we can keep people involved in the liberty movement. That's what this is about. It's just expanding our outreach and getting more people involved. So please be sure to share this video, share any of my other videos, share any of my content, and of course, be sure to subscribe on my Governor Wildstar page. That is Governor Wildstar on Facebook. All right, I'll be sure to drop that information here. There we go, right there, Governor Wildstar. And then, of course, you can visit my website, governorwildstar.com. Click on any of my social media links and be sure to connect with yours truly. And if you'd like to donate, I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. I'm trying to do my best to grow as a citizen journalist and be able to provide more media to you guys, more quality videos, other projects that we have going, be able to travel throughout, not only throughout the state of California, but throughout the country. If we can get to other larger protests and get people involved on the national level, that would be great. Speaking of national, I want to introduce to you a brother that I met out in Chicago, Illinois. Like I said, he is a candidate running for Illinois State House Representative. His name is Joshua Flynn. What's up, brother Joshua? Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I appreciate you for jumping in. And what's up, Night Mayor? Jumping into the broadcast as well. All of you viewers that are out there watching, please be sure to drop a comment like my man or lady. I apologize. I can't really tell by your picture there, but Night Mayor is saying hello. Drop a comment, say what's up, question, whatever the case may be, and we'll be sure to get that out there, okay? But we want to talk to you, Mr. Joshua Flynn, about you and your candidacy. I mean, first and foremost, if you could just introduce yourself to the people and tell everyone out there, who is Joshua Flynn? Because we need to know.
Sure. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I've been married for 13 years. I got 2 kids. I have a 20-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter. Basically, I'm a business professional from Austin. I've had my own trucking company. Right now, I'm into insurance. I have my own brokerage. But for the meantime, I've been running for office. Also, I'm a community organizer. I work with Northwest Austin Council, Mothers on a Mission, GTW, Get to Work Illinois, and I've recently Black Workers Matter. Basically, I'm a west side of Chicago. Been working in the community ever since I was a young kid. My father got me involved with that, and been active ever since. In a short part, that's who I am.
That's wonderful, man. It sounds like you've been very involved in the community for a long time and are continuing to stay active by attempting to be a representative for those in your community,
Yes.
And stepping up to the plate as a representative. So that's very admirable for you, especially as you being a father, and a husband. You're being a role model to your family and stepping up to be that for not only them but the Black community.
Exactly.
And speaking of where you are right now, it's known that Chicago, the area of Chicago, is predominantly Black, that area, and since it is that demographic, and we've seen a lot on the news happening with this police corruption, calls for disbanding the police and abuses of authority by law enforcement. It just goes up the ladder, the chain of command. So if you were to get elected, what would you do to help, curb all of the violence that we hear about happening out there in Chi-Town?
One of the things we would like to do is work with the police department to build a communication between the community and the police department and the police officers. Another thing is, like what they just happened in Minneapolis, that happened here in Chicago as well, recently, is to work with better training, dealing with programs that make police officers better communicators amongst the public. If that happens, that'd be a lot of change as far as how the police treat people and how people respect the police officers. Because right now there's no respect both ways, and we got to change that. And that's one of the ways of doing it is building that core understanding of each other.
Yeah, and when you talk about improving that relationship, there's many different ways of going about that. Right now, there are calls to defund the police, and a lot of people are afraid of that idea altogether because they think if you take money away from the police departments, the law enforcement, that there will be less officers on the street and that would prompt more violence. Instead of thinking that you would reinvest into community law enforcement groups, de-escalation groups, etc., or training for officers, actually, for those good cops that we want to keep on the force and that are worth the money, because let's admit it, not all of them are actually worth keeping on the force. And it doesn't make any sense for us as taxpayers to continue to foot the bill and pay for people's bad behaviors. But that's actually what's happening right now. So, with you getting or with you promoting that that's something that you would like to do once you get into office, I would actually want to, I guess, focus on asking you, how would that help the Black community specifically, especially when we talk about the Black on Black violence? Because one thing that we hear echoing from white people and others is that why don't Black people do anything to help curb the violence in the Black community? So, in essence, why doesn't Black Lives Matter to Black people?
Well, it should. You should respect each other, each brother and sister. I've always believed in, it's a big concern to me that we have so much Black on Black crimes. Of recently, especially the past couple of weeks, it's been rough here in Chicago. I believe that we have to respect each other. We have to, that's the biggest key is respecting each one of us that's in the community, and showing that respect, not just to your fellow brother, but to everyone. And that's why a lot of other people outside of our race, they don't respect us because a lot of our young people, they don't respect themselves, and that has to change. So having to sit down with them young brothers and sisters, talking with them, getting an understanding of why they do the things they do, is what we don't do much of. They don't ask the question, the why, and that's most important, that we sit down and do that. We've been doing it with different smaller groups, but now it's time to do it on a larger scale because it's getting out of hand, it's getting out of control. And a lot of people have fear, especially my older seniors in the district and across Chicago.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, it's definitely a threat to everyone in the community. And you're absolutely right. It does boil down to respect among each other,
Yes.
and it's crazy because you're right. Nobody actually sits down with the people of the community to find out why is it increased violence. Does it have to do with poverty? Does it have to do with drug use? Does it have to do with any type of sexual abuse of minors or anything like that? These are underlying factors that create a violent atmosphere. So
Yes.
if you can kind of nip it in the bud and attack those areas first, then you have an opportunity to eradicate the issue. Now, coming in that with the police officers and, like you said, respect for the police officers. Again, these are people that we're hiring and paying to do a job for us, which is to protect us.
Right.
And if the Black people in the community don't feel like they're being protected by police officers in Chicago, why not create their own, police department or their own protective service for those people in the inner cities? So, especially with this whole coronavirus thing and, coupled in with the protests and the riots that's been going on nationwide, it's creating a more impoverished environment for us. we're 13%, 14% of the entire American population, and we're 3 times as likely to be killed by a police officer. So we got to take these things into accordance, and it's like those people that don't live in those neighborhoods, they don't take those things into perspective. So
Right.
since you are well aware of all of these things, I'd like to ask you, what do you plan on doing? What is your expectations on helping the people of Chicago bounce back from all of what's going on? Because there's a lot of madness going on right now. And like you said, over the last few weeks in Chicago, there's been increased black on black crime happening, community crime, because community crime also happens in white neighborhoods, white people. We just don't call it white on white crime. We just call it regular crime. But the fake news, of course, the media sensationalizes the community crime that happens in black neighborhoods with this black on black crime. So how do you help the community bounce back from that? Coronavirus, the riots, everything that's going on out there.
Well, as far as the crime wise, I have been active. I'm an ambassador for the NPI program, which is New Policing Initiative, where we basically work with community leaders in the police department. We're like the liaison between the two and helping build that communication. We got to keep pushing for that as well. On top of, as far as you talk about the coronavirus, is resources, people getting the information out. And I think we could do a better job at that, as far as the people, the groups, the non-for-profits, as well as the government, especially the government, because they get the information first. I believe we could do a way better job of getting the information out. I talked to one of my seniors today, and the thing is like, we don't get information on time. We get it so slow. I said, well, we got to improve that. My goal is to improve that so you have the information on time and you know what's going on. And you can be prepared, better prepared for what's coming. And that's been my goal ever since day one, since I've been working with non-profits, is getting the information out faster, a lot faster. If it be via websites, social media, door to door, connecting with other organizations. That's all. This is what we do here in Austin. We do it across the city of Chicago, different non-for-profits, and we try to work hand in hand with the government, local governments, city councilmen, to help them get the information out, because we all live here. It's not just them doing their jobs, but we live here too, and it's a part of our job as the citizens and constituents of the 29th Ward, across all 50 wards of Chicago, across the state rep districts. It's our job as well as regular constituents. But me personally, I constantly fight to get the information out. That's the key.
Excellent. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right about that. A lot of people do feel disconnected from, I guess, community resources, government resources being provided to them, because they don't know where to find it, whether it be online or, they call some number and it's disconnected, or it gives you to run around, and, through automated services, it makes it extremely difficult for people to actually get the help that they need. So having it more readily available is definitely, key. So hopefully more people out there that are watching this will appreciate that effort and expect that as well. Speaking of which, because you talked about community resources, and that's one thing that I want to talk about also, is because Black people, we've had the opportunity to create our own resources. And, Black Panther Party was attempting to create local law enforcement groups created by the community. We could have funded that. We instead let our tax dollars be taken away from us and be used on, funding a system that doesn't benefit us. And I'm speaking specifically of the Black community, for all the people out there, because a lot of the narrative right now is being shifted towards, well, why don't you guys do anything to help yourselves? And I'm sick of hearing that personally. I feel like personally that we always could have, taken advantage of the situation. We still have the opportunity to take advantage of the situation. A lot of Black actors and actresses, they could have put their money together to create their own film companies. A lot of these sports athletes could have put their money together to create their own, leagues. And you have factors such as Ice Cube, who attempted to create a basketball league. Nobody supported it. So when we talk about support of the Black community, and it being there, why is it that Black people seem to be more reactive instead of proactive? Even with the coronavirus lockdown, during that time, they were staying home and, I guess pretty much going along with the idea that their freedoms and liberties needed to be taken away for the sake of them being protected from the coronavirus by the government. But now we're seeing riots where there's 30,000, 50,000 people swarmed together. No enforcement of any social distancing rules or mask wearing laws or etc. So all of that shit went out the window pretty much. So instead of Black people waiting for shit to hit the fan, especially with this police issue, why don't we take advantage of the situation and do something about it now instead of waiting till later?
A lot of times that leadership in those communities is not formed, it's not there. You have to have the leadership to be able to do those things. And as of right now, the way things seem is that we have the lack of leadership. We truly have the lack of leadership. And I think once that changes, you'll start seeing Blacks being more active in doing those processes. Like I truly believe, I truly believe what the Black Panthers was getting started to patrol your own communities. You know the people that live there because they live there. The people that's going to be controlling the communities, patrolling, live in those communities. We used to do that when I was a young kid with Northwest Austin Council. My father used to run a CB where they would go out and drive it throughout the night and report anything, try to catch, they catch people doing things, either robberies. I remember one time I was in a car with him here in Chicago, and we caught a guy, actually robbed a lady at, really at gunpoint at one of our Walgreens nearby. And my dad was able to stop him. Certain things like that, we need to get back to those things. You have some in certain areas of the country, you do have Black communities that do these things. They do patrol their communities. But I like to see it here in Chicago because it's where crime will start to come down because of it. They see the people that's actually out there, the people in the community out there fighting for their community.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It does boil down to leadership, and community involvement is key. But the people that look towards that leadership, they tend to only focus on those that have a political agenda. Like your district right now is ran by a Democrat. So, for all of those people out there, like I mean about being proactive and reactive, instead of them looking into their candidates and finding out, because if you end up losing in November, it is simply because they asses voted for a Democrat instead of looking into their candidates and finding out more about what they have to offer for them, to change the community, instead of focusing on them just being a Democrat. And the Democrats have always supported gun control, limiting, gun rights for the Black community. And we've seen that happen to where, again, with this proactive, reactive, if more Black people had been more pro-gun, then you'd have less gun problems on the streets of Chicago. More people would be armed, and instead of getting pulled over by the police and, arrested for a weapons violation for being in possession of a gun. So, when you talk about, again, being proactive and that leadership, again, it boils down to people actually going out there, finding out about representatives such as yourself that are pro, Second Amendment, pro gun rights, and pro decriminalization, etc., to help the Black community get out of these situations.
Yes.
All right, great. So I'm glad you agree with that.
No, I definitely agree with that. Yes.
Cool. And that's the thing, because a lot of people don't know about the libertarians' ideas and what they offer. So it's sort of hard to, I guess, express that in a way to where they understand. And it's like instead of you having to focus on your freedoms being limited, it's your rights all the time. Not just rights, certain rights for a group of people, or
Yes.
during the lockdown, or when it's acceptable or when it's not. It's your rights all of the time. So hopefully you'll be able to promote out that message to everyone out there in Chicago.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
And is there anything else that you want to say to the people out there?
Keep protesting, keep fighting for what you believe in. I believe in safe protesting. Like today, I got to go for a protest over at Bimbo, which is a bakery here in Cicero, which is just south of my community. Working with Black Workers Matter, fighting for their equality. They want equality, just like the other workers get there. And fighting, if no one stands with them, nobody, shows them the way. Nobody stand by and fight with them. That's what I stand for. I stand for that. Being able to talk about what you're trying to get approved in your community or get changed in your community, you got to fight for it. Nobody's going to give you anything. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been taught all my life from my parents, fighting and going after what you really want in life.
Right. And I hope you get a chance to, exercise that power, that strength, because it is some power in legislative power. You be rallying for the people and championing for their causes and their demands. So if they see that you're authentic in doing so, and you truly desire in making those goals come to fruition, then hopefully you'll get all the votes that you need to get elected come November 3rd. That is when the election is for you, right?
Yes, sir. November 3rd, 2020.
Excellent. Great. And you people out there that are watching this video, you can go over to his website, which is joshforstaterep.com. Please be sure to support this brother any way that you can. Get the word out, because the one thing about us libertarians is it's hard for us to get exposure and, for us to get that name recognition. So help him get out the word wherever you are. It don't matter. Help him get out the word about his campaign. And I do want to ask you another question, because I do my best to kind of end all of my shows on a more lighthearted note, especially right now during these times. So I want to ask you a question. It's assumed that Black people drink malt liquor. I don't know why, but do you, Joshua Flynn, do you drink malt liquor? Shit, can you tell the people out there?
Actually, I don't drink at all. Actually, I don't drink beer or alcohol at all. So I know it's weird because I come from Chicago. I come from the Midwest, with Budweiser and everything in the Midwest. But I come from a family. My father was a pastor, so I didn't even see alcohol in my household. So.
Wow, that's funny. And see, that's something that we got in common. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a bit north of you. And yeah, you're right. You got the Miller Brewery right there and all of the different breweries up and down the Midwest. But I don't drink fucking beer either. I don't know why people drink.
I think it's from the movies. It's from the movies from the late 80s and 90s, like Boys in the Hood. Mm-hmm. And, a couple of 90s movies, that's what I think. What people think, a lot of blacks drink malt liquor because of that. But
yeah, they think we sit around on porches drinking 40 ounces and shit like that.
No, I don't even wine. My alcohol is cranberry juice and a glass of water behind it.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Shit. And mine, I don't know. I guess mine would be a Long Island iced tea, because I do drink the alcohol. And that's probably one of my favorites right there. But yes, Joshua Flynn, I do appreciate you for answering all of my questions, because none of my guests know any of the questions that I'm going to ask. So I appreciate you for being such a great sport and answering them all as honestly as possible. And hopefully we were able to keep the attention span of all of the people out there long enough for them to watch the entire video, because Joshua Flynn, he's running for Illinois State Representative, and he could certainly use your help. Josh, please again, tell the people where they can find you and how they can support you out there.
Sure. My website is josh4staterep.com. That's JOSH, the number 4, STATEREP.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Josh4StateRep, all spelled out. Josh4StateRep on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And like I said, on my website as well, you can follow me on my website. Got a lot of featured things on there as well as I keep a lot of stuff posted on my social media sites too. Yes.
Excellent, great. Well, I'm glad that you are able to keep people in the loop with your social media networks, and I'm very honored that you were able to tip out some of that time out of your schedule to come here and hang out with me on the Black Side of Liberty. So thank you again for being the guest here with me, Josh Flynn, and best of luck to you on the campaign, my man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on today.
Oh, my pleasure indeed. Till next time, God bless you, and long live liberty, brother. Take care.
All right.
All right, you guys, that again is candidate Joshua Flynn, who is running for Illinois State Representative. Please be sure to check him out again at joshforstaterep.com. And till next time, I want to say to all of you out there watching, please continue, like I said, to spread the word. Every little bit helps. All of the comments, all of the new people following me, all of the people dropping comments, it all helps. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate the love over here. Night Omer, thank you for watching. All of you people that are watching that didn't drop any comments or, ask any questions or whatever the case may be, that's cool. Till next time, I appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to tune in Thursday with Vicki Sexton, who will be my guest. She is a nurse and the founder of Carroll County, Tennessee Libertarian Party. So please be sure to tune in on the next show Thursday with Vicki Sexton. We're going to talk to her a little bit about what's going on with this coronavirus thing and see if we can get down to the bottom of it, okay? But I appreciate all of you guys for watching. Till next time, long live liberty. Peace.